Today we're making a lemon pie. It just goes in the refrigerator. There's not a lot of cooking involved. However, this does require a preheated oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to cook the graham cracker crust just for about 10 minutes. It's going to go in the refrigerator, and then we're going to put it into the fridge for a few hours, and we're going to do the lemon meringue, the meringue on top of the pie later. So this has a graham cracker crust base. Now a box of graham crackers is probably about $2 to about $2.50, which is about the same that you're going to pay for a pre-made crust. So I always make mine from scratch, and it tastes so much better, trust me. So I actually have a really big pie plate. You can see here it's huge. So I'm doing a double recipe today, but I'll tell you, I'll put on my Facebook page the recipe for a regular 9-inch pie plate. So first you're gonna, we need about 30 of these for my recipe, probably about 20 for yours. And we're just gonna crush them up. I put them in a bag. You want to get all these, see this side looks pretty crumb, but you get a lot of big pieces. You're going to get these big pieces out of here. And that looks pretty good. So we're just going to dump these in here. And then we're going to put 6 tablespoons of sugar and 2/3 of a cup of melted butter. And that's all there is for the crust. And we're going to get this mixed up really well. And see how, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's certain parts that really wet looking like this. You want to keep mixing until that's all gone, so that the butter is really distributed through this whole bowl. Because that butter is what helps you press your crust into your pie plate. So now, I'm just going to pour some of this in here. Make sure your hands are clean, obviously. And we're just going to press this in. Now, I like a really thick pie crust. So the bottom of mine is pretty thick, and I'm probably going to have extra here. I wasn't sure. This is such a big pie plate. And then you're going to press it up onto the sides. I think I got extra, but that's okay. Extra is better than not enough. And no fear, this isn't going to go to waste. We actually have 10 chickens out back, so I'm sure they're going to enjoy these breadcrumbs. So you just want to press that in nice and firmly, all up on the sides. Try to make it look pretty. And we are going to bake this just for about 10 minutes. And that ought to set our crust. And then we'll make the lemon filling that goes in here. All right, so I baked my pie crust for 10 minutes and I've had it sitting here for about half an hour, 45 minutes to cool down. And now we're gonna make our filling. It's pretty simple. It's just one can of sweetened condensed milk, which I already have here in my bowl. And then we're gonna put in 2 eggs, a half a cup of lemon juice, and then I have grated the peels to 2 lemons. So that's what's in here. And that's all gonna go in here and get mixed up, and then we're gonna pour it in the pie crust. I'm just gonna kind of start out low, and then I'm gonna get this going and whip it right up. And now I'm gonna scrape the sides here, make sure we got everything incorporated in. And I'm actually gonna take a little bit of a taste and make sure this is lemony enough. And it is. And then we're just gonna mix this up. And now we're going to pour it in our crust. And this is going to go in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to do my lemon meringue for the top. And now we're ready to make the meringue for our pie. This has been in the refrigerator a couple of hours, so it's nice and cool. The trick to making a really good meringue is making sure that no fat gets into the egg whites. So make sure that your dish or whatever that you're using is really clean. If you remember, I use this for my mixture, which has tons of fat. So I actually put this in the dishwasher in the few hours just to make sure that this was really clean. And now I'll show you how to separate the eggs. You can get different tools for separating eggs. I just do mine like my mother always did hers. I'm just going to crack it and gently open it. And keep the egg yolk on one side and just let the white kind of drip into the dish. Do it one more time, and then the yolk goes over here. And now, so we have 3 egg whites. If you get any yolk in your egg white, start over because it will not make a meringue. So here we go. We're not going to use these egg yolks right now. So now we're just going to put our egg whites in here. And now it's just sugar and cream of tartar that we need. So we're just going to start these on low. And we're going to let it start going. And they're going to start to get kind of frothy. And then you're going to put in just a little bit of sugar. And I'm just going to keep adding the sugar a little bit at a time as these egg whites keep getting bigger and bigger. And we're going to put 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar in here. And this helps stabilize the eggs. We're just going to keep adding our sugar. You can see our egg whites getting white now. Now what you're looking for on these eggs is what we call a stiff peak stage. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to show you what I mean. When I take this out, you're going to see like a little, see that's way too thin. What you should get is a peak of egg white sticking up straight with, and it shouldn't fall over. So we've got a ways to go. We're almost there. Let's check them again. You can see our egg whites are getting kind of glossy, and we've got a soft peak stage now, a little bit more, and you don't want to overdo this. So I don't know if you can see that, but see my peak is standing up nice and straight. It's not falling over. These egg whites are ready. And now we're just gonna put them on top of our pie. Now you want to seal your edges. You want to make sure that you don't see any of that lemon. So you're just going to push this all to the sides. And now I'm just going to kind of make it look pretty. And we're going to put it in the oven at 325, and you should have absolutely heated up your oven ahead of time for this. It doesn't stay in long. It's going to be in there for about 10 or 15 minutes, and you just want this to brown slightly on top. So that's what we're going to do now, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. And here's our pie, fresh out of the oven, and you can see the meringue is just lightly browned. This is like the perfect color. Came out great. Definitely don't want to overcook this. You can burn it pretty quickly. That's why it's at such a low temperature in the oven. And now you're going to want to let this cool again, and then you could just cut your slices and enjoy your dessert.